Hey guys, good evening. Talking to you from the deck here at the Andaz in Costa Rica. What a great day. We're seeing a lot of good friends out here, and they were talking to us about relationships.
Right.
Using some of the tactics we've talked about, which is that makes you feel good, huh?
It makes us feel really good. So, we've come out here several times now to write the book. And so while we're writing, everyone that's out here stops and talks to us, and we've really gotten to know them. I mean, they're really like our second family. Today it really made me feel great that, Sherilyn, shout out to you, said that you were using, Post-it notes to leave some positive messages for your boyfriend. And I know we talked about that. And so people are always asking us, after 28 years of marriage, being together for 29, and we're definitely more in love than we were back then, which is almost impossible. But it's true. I mean, we just have a magic thing going, right?
Yeah.
And people are always asking us, what are the secrets? What are they? And there are so many things that we do. I mean, a marriage takes work. A relationship takes a lot of attention and time. But one thing that we do is what we call the love book. And for us, it's an actual book that we keep by our coffee machine at home. And every morning, Jeffrey writes me a love note. And I get up and I read it. And then I write him back a love note, and he waits until the morning and he reads my love note. But this started from early on in our relationship, basically day one that we moved in together, and he would always write me a love note. And he traveled a lot too back then, and so anytime he would leave, I would wake up to a Post-it note up on the mirror or in my closet, somewhere he definitely knew where I would see it. This was before the love book. And we were together for 10 years, married for 10 years, I think, before it dawned on me that I should write him a love note back. And I commend him on not writing me love notes for any other reason than because you wanted to and you wanted me to feel good about it.
Well, yeah, and let me clarify. Like the love note, I mean, sometimes it would be poetic and romantic. Sometimes it maybe was just, hey, thank you so much for dinner last night. That was so nice, or you look so great. It didn't always have to be, a novel or anything that's earth-shattering. It might be just a one-liner appreciation.
Right.
And the idea was that, especially when I was traveling and everything else was going on, I didn't want Karen to think that she ever had to worry, that I was always, dedicated to her and dedicated to our life together, and that I appreciated everything that she did. I mean, that was the idea anyway.
Yeah. And, I never, ever worried about that. But probably because you always made me feel really secure in what we had, and I was really secure in myself, and I think you were really secure in going away and knowing all that. We never, ever made each other feel that there was a need to worry, when we were apart, which we were, unfortunately, a lot for the first, 12, 15 years.
Well, when you say for business travel, right?
Of course,
yeah,
right.
A couple days here and there,
Yeah.
but pretty much every week I was on a plane.
Right. So, come Friday night, it
Yeah.
was reacquaintance night, and Sunday was like, saying goodbye again. But, it was really it filled my heart when Sherilyn told us that, she had been using some positive notes with her boyfriend, and I just think it's really special to see some of these things go into effect. And if you want outrageous love, I mean, if you want ordinary love, do ordinary things. If you want outrageous love, do some outrageous things, right? Write a love note. And like Jeffrey said, sometimes it's just things for dinner, or if we went out somewhere, he'd always write something so sweet that would make me feel special, when he would see me across the room, or, something like that. And then when you traveled, a lot of times you wrote me something a little bit longer that I would keep up. I mean, some of those notes I kept taped up in my closet for years. that were just really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just anyway, so sharing the love book, that is one of our secrets to keeping the magic in a long relationship.
Well, it's not only like making the other person feel comfortable, it also is very good for yourself, the person that's actually writing the note. So the whole idea is, I don't think anybody has a perfect relationship, or a perfect relationship isn't always smooth as silk, let's just say. So the interesting thing about the art of writing that love note, it sets your mind on a different path. So, too often we get angry about something or concerned about something, and we let it build and build and build and not address it. And our minds are so powerful, as you know from our other posts here and what we're talking about. I mean, you basically can control your own reality. So you have a choice. You can either go to bed angry, or, in this case, I'm getting up in the morning, and take off and go catch a plane angry, or I can go ahead and write that note and, write about a compliment or something that I enjoy or something that I'm appreciative of. And it gives me a different perspective. I'm writing the note, gives me a different perspective on everything that we're doing, because I would always, put something positive out there, something that I really appreciated. And the rule was, I'm always putting I love you at the end. So, even if something was, we had a hot topic that we were talking about, and maybe we had a tougher time or a disagreement, I guess.
I mean, we're two different people, and we do disagree. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, do you ever fight? Of course we do. I mean, we wouldn't be human if we didn't have disagreements on things, and sometimes the timing on them wouldn't be great. But the bottom line is, when we were parting ways because of business, there was always, I love you, always, right? I mean, we never put into words or on paper anything that was harmful to the relationship.
No, it has to always be positive.
Right.
The rules with the love book are a couple things. One, it always has to be positive.
Right.
Number two, it's not a to-do list. Hey, can you pick up the dry clean
nothing
tomorrow?
like
Or,
that.
I need you to pick up groceries on the way home. Nothing like that.
And no negative.
No,
talk,
right, yeah. And then at the end of the day, you always write "I love you" at the end. So that was a rule. So whether you put that in notes back and forth, or you even do it electronically, I recommend a book if you're home, just to have it so you can keep it. It's kind of nice looking back at those things. It's like goal books. We have lots of goal books that we put out there, and lots of love books. You can go back and look through it, and it just puts a smile on your face when you look back at all those days. 365 days of notes a year is pretty interesting, right? When you go back and look at those.
It's really interesting because some of the notes are a little bit deeper than others, or a lot deeper than others, and to go back to those times and really see where our relationship was growing, right? And getting to this even more extraordinary point. And I was talking to a good friend of mine who, she said she didn't really believe that what we had was real, and that you could have something like that. And she is in this same kind of relationship now, and she gets it. She's like, I get it. I understand, and I really didn't even think it was possible. But anything is possible. Extraordinary, outrageous love is possible. You have to make it, though. You have to create it, and you have to recreate it, and really be part of, that has to be in your core to want that.
Right. And it is work. I mean, it's, you have to put in your 150%.
Right.
Everybody has to work at it, right? You have to.
I love that. People are like, oh, it's 50-50. It's not. It's 150.
Right.
That's the only way it works. And sometimes, one person is putting in more because sometimes the other person is in a different state and of mind, and the other person is there. I mean, we are constantly working to be better, and also to pick up the other person, and make them be better. I mean, I always want to be a better person when I'm with you.
Yeah, right? That's great. Yeah.
Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the Andes, Costa Rica.
Go ahead and click off over here and subscribe, and give us a like if you want to see more of this. But appreciate your viewership, and look forward to chatting with you again.
And make a comment down below if you've got a secret on what
Oh,
makes
that's a
your
great one.
relationship
Yeah,
last.
would love to hear more.
Love to hear more and love to share that in our book.
We'll add a book, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.